Hey, how you doing? My name is Jerry Luke and welcome to Luke's World. Normally you can hear me on Sports Insight on WHCR FM in New York, 90.3 The Voice of Harlem, between the hours of 2 and 3:30 every Friday. The number to call is 1-212-650-6903. That's 1-212-650-6903. However, don't call unless it's Friday between 2 and 3. Thank you very much. I'd like to start today. Actually, I want to talk about Rob Horner, because I sort of introduced him last week, and I don't think I gave him a fair shot, and I really wanted to do that because he was very instrumental in pushing the show along. We happened to meet at a time when one of the principals of the show left, and I was actually on my own and sort of at nines, sixes and nines. Is that how you say that? And I saw some talent there when I met him, and we used to talk at the beginning of the week and arrange some of the things to say on Friday, and it really worked out. It was an education for me. I think it was an education for him too. So I want to thank him for doing that, and also I'd like to clue you guys in on his website, which is Horner 1959. It's actually not his website; it's his Facebook page, but it's a really, really interesting page. One of the neat things that we did together was support a candidate who was running for office in the 20th district up in New York State, a man by the name of Matt Funicello, who did very well. He got 10% of the vote. The Democrat lost. A sad excuse for a Republican won, but that's the nature of the beast. So I think now, because of what we did for Matt, he's probably going to be running for office on his own. I don't know if he's going to be running as an independent or a Democrat or what. So things can really happen once you put your mind to it. It was really interesting. I wanted also to give a shout out to him in terms of his leaving the show. I really enjoyed him being on the show, and I know there's no hard feelings, and if he ever wants to come back and do the show again, he's quite welcome to it. And one of the things that happens in this life is, and I found out because of this whole experience, is that when one door closes, another opens. So I found that because Rob left, I had to really expand my experience on the show and see if I could drive it just on my own, which I did. So I'm very happy about that. I also started doing these videos with a wonderful director by the name of General Farley, who never lets me off the hook, so I'm really happy about that. But the idea is that Rob was a great influence on me, and if he ever wants to do the show again, please feel free. So that part of it is done. I want to also talk a little bit about, we've all been inundated with what's been happening in Washington. I'm really glad that the Supreme Court came out for gay marriage in the United States. It's a wonderful thing. It's still going to be an uphill battle, but that was a major, major league step. Also, the Affordable Care Act, which President Obama has sponsored from day one, is going to be something in our future and everybody's future. And it's a wonderful thing for people who can't afford health care to be able to afford health care. It's really a no-brainer. Why people are fighting this, I have no idea. Just for the same reason that people are fighting gay marriage. It doesn't, what you do privately and by yourself for your own joy shouldn't affect anybody else. But we here in the United States, if somebody has something purple across the street, we have to debate why they have it. So we're going to leave that. Now, a young man that I met through Rob, I'm going to call him Robert, is also a musician, and he recently wrote me an email and doubting his ability as a musician. And let me tell you, this guy cooks, and he started out playing a lot by himself and then got to go to jams, and there was a disparity with what he was doing and what the jams were doing. But I saw him at jams, and once he gets warmed up, he's terrific. So it's a question of just pursuing your dream and just keep on going. Sometimes you have to get a little help from another musician. Sometimes you got to take a class. but never give up. It's in your blood, and I could tell when you play, Robert, that that music is for you. And another wonderful thing that this kid is about is also, by the way, post-Army and in wending his way for a political science degree in college. We went night hiking up in the Adirondacks, and I had this little dinky lamp that I was wearing on my head, and he had this lamp that the Army issued him that lit up half the forest. So I'm sort of glad that he was there, but together we had no fear about being out there in the dark and being able to navigate and know where we were and know where we were going. It was one of the most wonderful experiences I had, and now I'm looking forward to doing some night hiking with the right equipment. So thank you so much for that. In terms of my retirement, things are working out. I'm going to go out with a bang. My last day is the 4th of July. I'm really happy about that. I talked to all the powers that be at the straight job. Everything got worked out. There was some little rough edges to smooth out, which I did. And believe me, if you go through anything like trying to get your Social Security, trying to get your Medicare, trying to retire, do not be afraid to knock some heads together, because sometimes that's what it's going to take to get information. I needed one piece of paper, and I had to go through a lot. I was going to say hell and high water, but that's a cliche. We tried to stay away from cliches at Sports Insight. But I went through a lot just to get that one piece of paper, and it worked out, and the company was very happy that I'm going to finish on the 4th of July, because nobody wants to work on the 4th of July. So I'm happy that happened, and next week I will be talking to you as a retired individual from the straight job, but not retired from the human race. Donald Trump. I don't know what to say about that guy. Is he on the same planet as the rest of us are on? You are running an international competition, and you have a problem with one of the nationalities in that competition? Are you out of your mind? Hello? We're all on this planet, and we're all competing. That's it. That's all you got to know. So now NBC came down on NBC, fired him the way he fired people on his own show. I thought that was kind of ironic. I think the Daily News found that ironic too, because that's how they ran the headline. We're getting towards the end. All I want to say to the Mets is, you guys need some hitting. If you don't get any hitting, nothing's going to happen. I don't know how come you guys are so good when it comes to pitching. I don't think there's been a team in the last 20 years that have come up with pitching prospects like you guys have. For some reason, none of your scouts can find a hitter. This is what you're going to do. You're going to take Steve Matz, and you're going to make him your left fielder, and that's it. And every once in a while, when you need some relief pitching, bring him in and let him pitch. Until then, he's the only hitter you got on this team. My name is Jerry Luke. I want to thank you for listening. Normally you can hear me on WHCR-FM in New York, 90.3, the voice of Harlem, on Sports Insight. The number to call is 1-212-650-6903. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the radio.